Hey y'all, welcome to our podcast, Love Speaks Volumes,
where we seek to bridge the communication gaps in our relationships.
We are your hosts. I'm Louise, a certified marriage counselor and certified sex therapist.
And I'm Mekka, a defense lawyer with over 20 years experience.
We are mothers,
wives,
sisters,
and friends.
And together, we are Black Diamonds 2.0 Entertainment. Here we are again with Love Speaks Volumes. Hey, y'all.
Hey, free. We're back at it, y'all.
What we talking about? We're talking about some couples, right?
Yeah, we're talking about some couples.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's a couples thing. It's a love thing. It's a relationship thing.
Yes.
We really appreciate you guys joining us again.
Absolutely.
For another episode of Love Speaks Volume. Y'all know we're doing a new series called Love Over the Decades. And so where we're talking to couples who are thinking about getting married, couples who are already married, newly married,
yes.
And some who just have been married a long damn time. So, we're in it. We're going to talk all relationship stuff, couple stuff, love stuff, the goods, the bads, the wills, the wants, the don'ts, the get on stuff, all of that. So we appreciate you guys coming back. We're here with our second couple. We're here with our second couple. We're going to let them introduce themselves. Tell me who you are.
First of all, I want to say, like we say, the goods, the bads, the wills, the don'ts, the won'ts. I love that. I love that. I'm Nate Holloway. This is my wife, Kesha Holloway. Which one you want me to go in? You want me?
We got the Holloway.
All right, okay. We're the Holloway. We call ourselves Team Holloway. And we've been married going on 11 years.
Yes, been together.
This year, been together for 12. 2 boys, 1 9. One is
almost 18 months. No, almost 19 months.
Oh, baby.
19 months.
Yeah.
Thick of it.
Right, and I'm 50.
Terrific twos.
Terrific twos, right.
Not
So
worried about those threes.
Oh,
They
yeah.
say
Now,
terrible twos.
are they
threes.
parenting y'all right now, or are y'all?
Oh no,
parenting
we
right
parenting them.
now? Okay, that's what we here for.
Maybe with the 18-month-old, we trying.
But you gonna
We
do it
trying.
As long as you try.
Yeah. He's
running the house.
He know who he is, and he
knows exactly who he is.
Yeah, he knows what he could do.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm waiting to see what I'm gonna have to do, if I'm gonna have to, a couple times, or if I'm gonna have to sit him down and, waiting
Right
to see
now,
how.
we're just running behind him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure
We're gonna work out
some stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Make sure the house still standing.
Right.
So.
Well, good. Well, we gonna jump
right
it off.
in.
Yeah, we're gonna jump it off.
Let's go.
So, tell us how you guys met.
Whew.
Huh.
That's a story.
Well, she saw me, and she had to have me.
Don't even lie.
So,
Don't
you
even
know,
lie.
I mean, you might as well tell her. She saw me, and she was like,
She just couldn't resist.
Huh?
yeah, she couldn't resist. No, so that's how that's how I started the story
All
off.
liars
So,
have their place. I'm sorry.
so our story, it's a long version. I'm gonna try to condense it.
Yeah,
Give you guys a short version. So when we met, I was a singles pastor at the church I was at, and I had just wrote book, and a friend of mine who was booking me on shows and things like that, she said, "Hey, CBN is looking for somebody to write articles for the relationship show they had."
And I was working at CBN.
And she was working at CBN.
Yeah.
So they gave me the number to call.
So what's your book name? What's the book name?
Well, I'm rewriting it. Okay. So it was a book for singles called "Let's Be Real About the Single Life."
And that was long. That was 12.
That's 12 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm redoing it, rewriting it. So I'm gonna rewrite for singles. So when I wrote that, she gave me the number to call. I called. It was Kesha's number.
Yeah.
So we kind of
Look at him like mess up if you want. Mess up if you want. on, you better get this right.
So this was July.
Well, let's pause there because the 700 Club was doing a series of Voice of Hope with Christy Watts, who used to be one of the co-hosts of the 700 Club. So I was helping her on the website and social media side of it. So that's how he got plugged in with me. We were doing articles and soliciting people to actually write for the show about relationship, singleness, and everything, because Christy was single and she just wanted to create a show that encouraged Christians that are trying to live holy while also being single.
So she was like, send me some articles. So I sent her articles. She had the nerve to text me back and say I needed to change something in my article.
I did.
But I changed. It was nothing big. It was nothing big. It was nothing.
It wasn't nothing bad. It was just
how I said it.
It's how you said it. I think it was about
sex.
Sex before marriage.
Yeah.
And I was like, we had to that wasn't going to get published on the 700 Club website. So at the time, that wasn't going to get published.
How'd you feel about that? How'd you feel about her telling you, yeah, you need to change this?
I think you had a Steve.
Like Erica Badu said, I'm sensitive about my.
Right.
It was.
And then I believe wasn't at the time like Steve Harvey was doing relationship stuff and he had a 90-day, and I don't know if you had kind of worked that in there.
I don't think I worked it. I don't remember what it was, but it was a simple change, and I didn't mind because the article got put on the website, so I didn't have a problem with changing. So I changed it, and then I wasn't gonna say anything to her because I had a no kid rule at the time. And I was working on me.
You were stalking me on social media.
And
wait, hold on. We're not just gonna blow past that. Stalking me on social media. Keep speak up. Tell us more about that. Don't let him keep going and you go make a comment like that. What was that about?
No. That's coming. So I had a picture of me and my niece on social media, but that's a few months later when he was actually. I think that picture was up.
Yeah. So.
But. Yeah, we have to tell it in the right timing.
Okay, so after the article, we were going back and forth with articles and things like that. So they put the article on the site, so I was writing, and then I saw pictures of her on social media, and I was like, she's cute.
I was dating someone at the time.
She was dating, so that's why I didn't say anything because she was dating. So I saw a picture of her and the guy, and I saw a picture of her and her niece, and I was like, her niece looked like her at that age, and I was like, I had no kid rule at the time, so. I didn't say anything, but then fast forward, I sent season 2. I said, hey, I sent some articles. I said, hey, you need more articles? Season. So.
Sounds like they had to have who friends?
Right.
Look now, we're not gonna do that, okay?
Oh, it gets interesting.
So I reached out to her. So she said, send me another article. Send an article. They put an article on the site. So then she put up this picture of her. Now I'm not saying the picture is the reason why I reached out.
Too fast. Are you talking about the picture when I was on the 700?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna pause there and we're gonna go back. About 6 months before that, he was doing a panel. If we have a mutual friend, he was doing a panel bringing men in who were married, some were single, some were divorced, but it was a single men's panel, and I was supposed to be there that day, but I didn't go. I actually looked at the video of it maybe a few months later. And saw Nate. I saw them all, but something was special about Nate. Not knowing who he was. I didn't know it was the same guy.
Didn't I tell y'all she saw me and had to have me, right?
I said, that's what you said.
That's what he said, but she also said that he was stalking her.
I said something was special about him. I didn't say I wanted you.
Ooh.
That's a difference.
That's
a difference. Okay? There's like something special about that guy.
It could be special, but it might not.
I can know somebody's special anywhere.
But that
don't mean I don't want
saw the light of God, the calling on you. That might have been his specialness.
His answers were very authentic.
Okay.
And he was speaking from his personal experience. It wasn't like something he heard about or like, it was just really authentic and he was very transparent. I was like, I really like that.
So you didn't look at him at the time and said, that's going to be my boo.
No, did not. I was dating somebody.
Oh.
I was dating somebody, so I was like, something special about him. But at the same time, he's sending me articles. I know what he looks like, but in that, I don't want to say it like that, but the way it was shot, I couldn't put them both together. So he sends me the articles for second season. In that same time, the Lord told me to end my current relationship. That was not working. There were some glaring red flags. My mom came and visited me and said, this is not the one. And she gave me some reasons why, and her reasons were valid. I was like, thank you. Like, you saw that? Okay. Then you're right. You're validating some things that I have been feeling.
How did your mom come to you? Because a lot of times when mamas come to us and tell us stuff about the people that we are in love with or in relationship with, and they say, this is not the one, we don't always receive that well.
It's the first time she said it.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
My dad, in a previous relationship, told my mom to tell me to keep looking. So here was my kind of philosophy. Even though, you may get hurt, some people are like, I get hurt, no men, no nothing. I was never like that. I was like, well, I got hurt, what can I learn from that? I'll move on. And there's a joke in my family, they're like, Kesha does not waste time. Like, you'll see him one day, and if it don't work out, like, she's cutting ties and she's gone. So they used to always pick on me about that. But my dad, I brought a guy home, and he was like, he'll be very clear and honest, like, that's a great guy. But it was one particular one, he said, told my mother to tell her keep looking.
Why did your dad tell your mom to tell you?
I'm closer to my mom. So he felt like I would receive it more.
From her.
Yeah.
You know what? That'll preach right there. We might need to pause and just put a pin in that, because that's good.
Yeah.
If people can't receive from you, then maybe you should change the delivery or who gives the message.
That's a message for another day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm proud of her for even, the Holy Spirit leads us, that?
Right.
So, and sometimes they use people. And so it's great that you heed the call and you follow the instruction, because you got big names.
Right, exactly.
Right,
It wasn't always like that. I was a typical teenager. So it wasn't always like that. My mother really cultivated a great relationship with me to trust her.
Wow.
But back to this story. So now we're all aligned in where we are. I saw him, something special about him. I broke up with the guy. 2 months later, I would be on the 700 Club Interactive Show, which is the online version of the 700 Club show. I was on the show, and you get hair, makeup, dolled out. You're gorgeous. I posted some pictures on social media, and all the fellas was in my inbox. And so I was like, you're not even worried about me. You're not even worried about me.
But see, you gotta look at it. Men are appearance driven.
Yeah.
We're appearance driven. So, and where I saw that, I also saw other pictures on Facebook with her, because we just talked in email. I saw other pictures that I thought she was really nice. She was nice, but again, I had the no kid rule. I didn't know, so I didn't say anything.
You made an assumption.
So I made an assumption, so I didn't say anything. So, but this picture, when she puts, I'm not gonna lie, the picture was gorgeous. And when I saw the picture, I heard Holy Spirit say, "Ask her out."
And I told God, I am not going out on one more date until you say it's to go out.
Okay.
Yeah.
To go out, just go out with this person. I was like, you know what? No, I'm not. Now, I wasn't, saying no men. No, I'm going to be single. I knew that I still wanted to be married. I wanted a family and everything. But I was like, I was tired of not getting, I guess, when I say, hey, can you do, there were some stipulations, put it this way, that I wanted in a relationship. And
So
I would get turned down.
You were looking for a man as opposed to letting God find you the man.
I wasn't looking. I would just date.
Okay.
So you heard my dad say keep looking. I wasn't ever looking. It was somebody asked me out, I would just go out. Like, it wasn't like, God, should I go out with this person? No. If you're attractive, I'm attractive, or I like your personality, you like my personality, I would go out with you.
Do you think that's the right way to do it? Because I don't have a judgment on it, but I was just wondering.
I don't have a judgment either. Like, some people are like, no, I feel like I have to hear from God. But I feel like also, there's some people who never get married because they're sitting around and they think they're waiting for God. Like, are you really hearing from God? Or are you just being so picky? If you don't talk to people,
right?
You don't date people. If you don't, you can go out in groups. So I would go out in groups, but I never would say like no unless I felt like some red flags and some warnings. Didn't feel safe or anything. But I'm single. Like,
and I think
Yeah.
to that point, when it comes to dating, I firmly believe that a woman should not. The Bible says, "He that finds."
Yeah.
She should never go find.
Yeah.
But you still have to put yourself in a position to be found.
To be
So if you're not out, if you're not going out, if you're not, there's going to be some times where you have to meet different people, go out and things like that, because you're going to be able to make sure your radars are aligned.
Yes.
See, me, I was a player. I'm not even going. I was that licensed minister who would bring a different women to church, thinking, okay, I trying to see how I can be licensed, a minister, and be the player. Until my pastor at the time, every time I bring one to church, he would say, "Son, that's not the one. Son, that's not the one. Son, that's not the one." None of them was ever the one. When I showed him a picture of Kesha, he was like, "Y'all gonna have some beautiful kids."
Wow.
So and it goes to, so when we go back to it, and so after I saw the picture, I reached out and we emailed, and I said, "Hey," on Facebook, I said, "Hey, can we go to lunch?" She did something that I wasn't used to, and it kind of made me a little upset at times. She was like, but after that, she made me wait, and I wasn't used to waiting.
Yeah.
So she said to me,
respond.
she said, then when she responded, she said, "Is it business or is it personal?"
Ooh.
And I said, "It's personal." She said, "Okay." Then she made me wait 3 days. I'm like looking at my phone.
Did you know that upset him?
No.
I'm looking at my phone, and I'm like,
Because you know what I just said? I was just like, I said I wasn't going to go out with another guy until I heard from God.
Right.
I never heard him say go out with Nate.
Right.
I never, even in me going, I never heard him say, yes, do it. But I didn't have like an unrest. You know what I'm saying? I had a peace about it, and I was just like, okay. Yeah.
That's how I hear from God. When
you have a peace,
with my
I had a
decision,
peace about it.
That's when I know that's what He wants me
Because-
to do. But if I'm tossing and
Right.
turning about it,
Yeah, I wasn't
and I'm
tossing and turning.
uneasy about it, that's God saying,
And we had
Whatever
talked
the
that whole
decision
week
is.
up until that time, so I still had some time. If something in the conversation came up that was off, I still had some time to pull out of it. But
because that Monday she said, "Yeah, we can go out," and that whole week we were on the phone till like 2-3 o'clock in the
all
morning,
week,
talking, and the conversation was good. We went out that Friday. Her first question to me on the date was, "What's your vision for your life?"
yes, come on.
That was her first question.
Grown folks stuff. She said, "I ain't playing around.
So all
you ain't
this-
got a kid
So all
here."
those stipulations
Yeah.
these are questions I was asking guys that couldn't clearly articulate what it was. And I was like, red flag 1. What's your financial situation? Like trash, red flag 2. Okay, so if it's trash, let's go to Financial Peace University. Oh no, I don't want to do that. At the time I liked Financial Peace. I got issues with it now, but at the time I was all about it. And then number 3, I wanted to do premarital counseling before I got married. So I wanted to get
Before you got engaged.
Thank you,
got engaged.
engaged.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hear what the guy's philosophy was on that. Well, why would we do that? Well, I feel like people get engaged, and then now you have to do the premarital counseling and all of that, and you're trying to plan a wedding. But if you do the premarital counseling while you are dating, if you're dating purposefully, you can, before you get wrapped up with, oh, I got a ring and all of this and all of the excitement, you got that out of the way, and now you have your confirmation whether it is or isn't. So I was asking those questions, and everybody was messing up.
I think what's beautiful about what you did, even though it was kind of aggravating to Nate, right, is you weren't so desperate that you were like, okay, hurry up,
No.
because the fact that you made him wait, for some people, that would have been enough of a turn off to go on by their business.
She too much work.
She too much work,
Yeah.
right? Or the fact that you made him wait and he still held out, that tells you something about him too.
Absolutely.
Like if you say, no, this is my boundary, this is where I stand on this, he honored that.
And I need to know why she made me wait. So that was a challenge for me too. I need to know why you made me wait, because I was Nate Holloway. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
That was my thinking back there. Really.
Well, at least it's about
that was my thinking. I'm Nate. You know who I am. You make me wait. So I had to know why you made me wait. And so
Like, okay, so
right.
saying, do you know what?
And that's the thing. And that's what I loved about her.
Right.
Because when we got together, even though she said I talked throughout the whole movie, we went to see a movie, but
Who talks in the movie?
we got together.
On the screen.
I feel you on that. I do too. If it's something crazy, I will speak on it.
But it was just something about her, you know, and when she asked me that question, I appreciate, even though I could articulate what my vision was.
Very clearly.
And where I was in my life at the time was I realized my vision for my life, but I had just lost my job.
Yep.
My credit was shot. I couldn't get a piece of paper on credit. Those things. But she saw something in me. And I couldn't get nothing in my name when we first got married. Yeah, and so but now the roles have switched. Not switched, but
they're equal.
They're equal. Yeah. And because she's my helpmeet.
I was almost gone.
I
was almost gone.
I'd have been gone.
I actually, yeah, I would, that really scared me. I was like, what's going on? The thing with Nate was, if Nate was out here with no accountability, done. Nate had spiritual fathers. He had a plan.
Yeah, that makes all the difference.
He had people within the first month of us dating, we actually were sitting in his church's marriage conference. They let us come the first day. I asked, even in that conference, I asked, was it a red flag? And the pastor said, it is, but I know Nate.
Wow. So he had people vouching for him.
He had people vouching for him all. It was just, and then my dad was in the same position when he met my mom.
Oh, wow.
Newly divorced, credit shot. He graduated from college and everything, but I watched him flipped. Well, I didn't watch it because I was a baby, but I see the fruit of his hard work and determination. Even 40-something years later, where you start is not where you end. And I asked the Lord to show me His heart. I didn't. That's the only thing I asked for, and He showed me His heart. Not only that, showed me the community that was around him, even to the point where we didn't have a ring when we did get engaged. And some mentors of ours, I said, being honest, I feel like we just should wait until he gets settled. She said, if you guys do not have a ring by the time y'all get married, we will take ours off our fingers and give them to you. That's how much, I was like, that's how much they vouched for him.
Well, see, this is what she's saying, y'all. What she's saying is, if you out here dating and you really looking for the one, get references.
Get references.
That's references. Any job, any other big decision you making, you get references, right? And she also said, seek God's guidance.
Right.
And be willing to listen to what He said.
Yeah.
And I love that analogy, and we talked about it on here before. Go ahead and write out a job description.
Yeah. I've done it.
Yeah.
Write out the job description.
What
are the things that are your have-to-haves in this other person? And what are your preferences? Just like a job description. Yep. And then those questions that Kesha was asking, that's like an interview.
Yeah. And I actually did that. I wrote out a confession with everything I wanted in my wife, and I had it on my wall in my apartment. Every day I said that, this, blah, blah, blah. Kesha is all of that I wrote down and more. So you can, the death and life is in the power of the tongue, the power of your words, and you have to be, I tell everybody, you have to be serious about what you want in marriage. You can't go and just marriage just for the wedding, just for the idea of it. You have to go in there. I was talking.
Some people do that. Some people who are just in love with being in a relationship, or love with being in love, but aren't really putting in the work that they need to find the person or have the person that that God intends them to have.
Exactly.
They're just so some people are
feeling or something.
Absolutely.
And then when you're desperate, you do ignore the blind spots. You don't ask the right question. You don't get the right, because you only want to see. And then when he asked my dad, he came straight and told my dad exactly what the situation was with him. And I remember sitting out. My dad's a pastor. I was sitting outside. Right.
Yeah, honesty.
I sat outside and he was asking my dad for my hand in marriage. Told him everything. I was like, well, we'll see after this.
I told him, I said, I don't have a car.
True.
Well, I said, I had a car. I said, I don't have a job right now. I said, I don't have a ring. This is where I am in my life, but I am going to change. I'm going to take care of your daughter. I love her. I want to marry her. He looked at me. He paused for a second. It scared me. He paused for a second. Then he said, okay. Like that.
He does not like people.
Wow.
He loves people.
That's kind of
You mean I love
I
people.
think we touched on it, but my next question was for you guys, because most people want to know, how did you know he was the one? And I think, we kind of touched on those, but what was the thing that said he's the one for you, Kesha?
It was his heart.
Mm-hmm.
It was the consistency of his heart as
one
he,
of our buzzwords,
you know,
ain't it, friend?
Consistency.
Now, when we first started dating, he did show up a few hours late for one of our dates, and I said, if you ever do that again, it will not be another one.
Standards.
But I watched Nate, and not only his interaction with me, but with his family, with his church family, and I watched the consistency of always showing up for them, and always kind of always showing up for me. That is purity of heart. That was just like, it's not always assuming best intent. It's always the best intent for him. Like, it's nothing underlined, nothing underhanded, or anything like that. What you see is what you get.
That's awesome.
It is.
It's just what
Now, I'm gonna pause
yeah,
for
go
a
ahead.
minute. Nate, I want to know why you was late.
Why you gonna bring that up? All right, so
It was a second date, right?
it was a third.
It was a third date. Okay.
So the next question. All right. So
Why were you late?
it was
Third date.
It was homecoming, and I got caught up at homecoming, Norfolk State, and
Drumline.
it was on the drum line, and I think we were all the alumni drummers. We were together, and I lost track of time, and I had to walk back to my car, and y'all know in the yard is you got to park like in 0 dark 30 land somewhere. So, but that's why I was late.
All you had to do was
Sounds
call.
like excuses, but you got that thing straight, because Kesha said,
Yes.
What?
I'm late one more again.
All you had to do was call. I was with my girlfriends. Yeah, I was with my girlfriends, and I was like, I could have stayed with them a little longer. It's okay if you're late. Just call me and tell me.
But actually, have I been late again?
I know that right.
No.
I know that right. 'cause
Without
she said
calling,
you
yeah.
wouldn't be sick
Without
if you-
calling.
Good
That's all.
deal.
But see, one thing, somebody gave me a piece of advice, marital advice, and said, don't ever give a time that you're going to be there, because she going to hold you to that time.
Absolutely.
And
Advice.
I gave a time, man, but
But you can give a time. You just have to call the time.
I know.
Changes.
I know.
Right.
I just needed an hour. That's all I needed was an hour.
All right.
So why was she the
please
one?
hurry up and
Nate?
get past this.
Why was she the one? What made you know? At what point you was like, that's the one?
The first date.
Wow.
Okay.
So love at first sight.
For me, it was the first date. I mean, just talking to her on the phone, her character, her spirituality, the conversation we had. And then at that point for me, I was building, I was getting myself together, getting my character together. Well, my character was straight, but just getting spiritually and just getting myself ready. Because I tell single people all the time, you got to become a husband or wife in here before you become a husband or wife out here. So, and I have to get my thinking right, my heart right as a husband, my thoughts right as a husband. So when I met her, for me, it was like when we got to the mall, it was at the mall, and I called her, tell her I was on my way. She was in a store in the mall. And I said, all right, I'm coming in the mall. And she said, where are you? The elevator door opened. She walked in front of the elevator, and I was like, right here.
Wow.
And for me, I'm a big romantic.
Wow.
So for me, that was a sign for me. But I actually just conversing and talking, when she asked me what's my vision for my life, that showed me she was serious. And that showed me that she wanted something, and that she wasn't playing no games. And so I knew right then and there that night.
Didn't do anything else.
She didn't do nothing else.
Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't like that for me.
But I understand that.
I knew you could be the one.
Yeah.
At that night, I knew you could be, but you had told me some things that needed to be vet out. And that's when I said this consistency, all the things that I asked him to do. Yeah, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Out his system,
Yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
That was gone. To be honest, I had already but that's because I tell guys
This Nate.
I tell guys that I tell guys that they want to be married. that you have to get that out of your system.
Yes, you do.
Because when you meet the one, you're not going to be able to handle it, because you're still going to be thinking about, how that's going to feel if I go to her. Oh, how does it feel? When I met Kesha, I was at the point where it was out of my system, and I was ready to be a husband. And so it didn't matter. So that's why I say I was still going out, but not like it was. But when I don't even know when we said we were official.
I don't think we did.
Because we were just.
organic.
But when I met her and started going out with her, I dropped everybody.
We were in premarital counseling in 2 months.
Yeah.
Like that, our first date was at the end of October. The marriage conference was December, and then premarital counseling. They were starting a class in January.
So it moved really quick.
We were married
The following
2
year.
weeks before the anniversary of our first date.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Well, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I believe it was God. I know it was God, because we had people trying to connect us before we even met.
Yes.
Like her hairdresser was trying to connect us together years before we even met.
She couldn't remember his name.
She couldn't remember my name, who I was, till I took her I went to pick her up from hairdresser, and she was like, "That's the guy I was trying to hook you up with." Years ago, before that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready.
Wow.
That's why God didn't allow it to happen.
I don't know if I was ready.
Absolutely. Well, I think, it's just going back to in team, there's no I in we, right?
Right.
And so for you,
Right.
so, and I don't think that necessarily means that you forget who you are or that you forget being an individual. But I really just think that means is, at least for me, when I become one, is I no longer just think about me. I think about how my decisions affect you.
Yep.
So I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, my favorite scripture when I talk to men about marriage is Ephesians 4:25. Say, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. What did Christ?
The other part coming to that is that submission part.
What
right?
did Christ give up for the church? His life. So as a husband,
Come on now.
I have to be willing to give up everything
Sacrificial.
for her. I have to be willing to put her needs above mine. I got to be willing to say, I don't need that. Or I have to be willing to say, my pride, if I feel like I'm right, I got to be willing to, yes, dear. Okay, babe. Let's do it.
You might be right, but what's the end goal?
Right.
We talk
You know,
about this, like, you know what I'm saying? You might be right, but does it get you to a stronger
Right. Is it worth that battle worth it? If it worth that battle just to be right. My spiritual father used to say all the time, when in a marriage, if you win, you lose.
Absolutely.
Because you're one.
Right.
So if I'm trying to up one her, then I'm actually losing, because if we're one, I'm trying to up one myself.
Right.
So, but as a husband, I have to be willing to give everything for her. That means thoughts of other women, thoughts of the past, anybody that's in my life that's going to mess up my marriage or things. I have to be willing to give up everything and put her before everything.
And I've seen it time and time again in our marriage.
Yeah.
And that's
What do you
beautiful.
think? Yeah.
And that's what makes a strong marriage.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we have talked about before, about how people take that particular scripture and they always just talk about the wives
submission
submitting,
part. And
wives
so I
submitting,
like
wives
that.
submitting. And we had an episode where we talked about that. Who wouldn't submit to a man who is willing to give up everything
for you?
Yeah, but they take that scripture out of context,
Everybody
though,
do.
because it doesn't mean that she's under my feet.
That's
Right.
right.
It means that she's submitting to my leadership, my spiritual leadership. You gotta be ready.
But show your
But still, it doesn't mean that she doesn't have an opinion. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have a better idea. That she can't. There's times where she leads certain things, like
But you would be willing to allow her to lead because you're willing to lay down your pride, lay down your past, lay down your personality, lay down your trauma. And that was another thing I was going to bring up, is because you talked about how you gave up that old person, the old man that you were, right?
Big Nate.
But he was Nate. Y'all better know, put some respect.
Put some respect on my name.
He was willing to give that up.
Give that up. And one thing that I think a lot of people may even be wondering is, what does that look like, right? So for some people, it's just making a decision to, I'm going to be committed to Kesha, right? And I'm going to forsake all others. For some people, maybe being Nate Holloway is tied to some past hurt that they've had. And that's what causes them to be so disrespectful to women, or to ruin women, or whatever they do, right? But you also have to be willing to say, I'm vulnerable enough to work on myself and self-aware enough to work on myself to get to a place where I can be a good leader for somebody's house.
And they have to want to do it. Yeah. See, here's the thing I've learned. Anybody could change. Whatever trauma you have, you can change if you want to. Because sometimes
they can't want it for you, though.
No. Right. Because sometimes we want to hold on to the trauma.
Yes.
Because that's a
it benefits.
It benefits. It's a selling point. It's a back door to get out of something. You get in a relationship. Get in a relationship. Oh, and as soon as that person do something that reminds you of your past, it's a reason to get out.
It's a trigger.
So you can't. You have to want. And you said something. Make a decision. You got to make the decision to change. And when you make a decision, you stick with it. You walk it out. Eventually, those things from your past are going to leave. It may not leave right away, but when you make a decision that this is what I'm going to do, it'll start. You'll and you'll start to fade away from it, and you'll start getting new thoughts, new habits, new character traits, and new things like that. And that's what helps you. That's how a man, I believe, stops being a player. You know, and it's possible.
Look, that could be a whole episode right there. Just dealing with that.
No more.
Go ahead.
that part. So.
But it's so true. But just that whole surrendering. That is huge. Surrendering to God as individuals. Surrendering to this relationship that we're in covenant with our spouses. That's a lot of surrendering. And if everybody will surrender, it seems to work out so much better.
You gotta drop that pride.
Just please.
Drop that pride.
It is.
That's ego and pride.
That's the problem with a lot of men, a lot of people in marriage. I believe a lot of marriages stop working is when pride and ego come in. Yes. I'm willing to, if she's right, or she comes home, or she says something, she feels strongly about something, I am the one that will just stop and pray, Lord, what should I say? Because she knows I'm not gonna argue. Yeah. I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna raise my voice. I get quiet. I talk to God. Then I come back and answer.
Beautiful.
In our 12 years of being together, we had maybe 3 big arguments because we have honesty sessions, and that's how I handle things.
Honesty session. What's that about?
So honesty session is when. Because in something serious, when she say, "Babe, I need an honesty session," I know it's big.
Do you have any anxiety?
Huh?
When I say it?
Yes.
Okay.
So honesty session is where we come together when something major. It don't have to be major, but something we feel strongly about. Feel strongly about. And
all is major if you feel strongly about.
And what happens is when we're sitting down talking, when it's her turn to talk, I can't say anything. I have to listen. Can't make an excuse.
Can't try a solution.
So when she finishes, my response cannot be in defense. It cannot be excuse. It has to be in a solution.
Wow.
So I have to listen to her when she's talking, because I have to give a solution. So I can't say, well, I did that because you did it. No, I gotta be like, babe, I hear you. This is what I feel. How I feel we can handle.
And you don't have to say it right then. If he needs to go away.
Yeah, if I don't have
take a moment to understand rather than listening to just
right. And then when it's my turn to talk, she has to do the same thing. And if we don't have a solution right then, Say, babe, I don't have anything right now. Let me go and pray about it, and then we'll come back and talk about it. But the thing is, we have to come back and talk about it. We can't go 3 days. We can't go 2 days. You got to come back before we go to bed that night. We have to talk about it.
That's some good conflict resolution.
It is.
I love
and
that.
it definitely slows down an argument.
Oh,
because a
my
lot of
gosh,
times when people's
yes.
emotions are high,
It starts festering.
it just keeps going higher and higher and higher. People get flooded.
Yeah.
They say things they don't mean.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can slow it down like you guys are doing with these honesty sessions, y'all know what? Go get a piece of paper and a pencil and write that down. Just rewind it back.
Yes.
They just gave y'all some good counseling right
Conflict
there.
resolution.
I'm getting ready to go tell Walter in a
Yes,
second.
I
Right
will.
after this.
Yes.
Honesty.
Me too.
You gonna
Me
tell
too.
James?
Me too.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Y'all know this is our podcast room, but this is also for my family. This
That's
is
right.
our room where I allow my kids to come in, my husband, my kids, and this is the room where you can say anything that is on your mind.
Yeah.
There is no repercussions, long as you're honest, you're respectful, and there's no cursing. So you can come in this room. If you've done something that I know you done that you ain't admitted to, you can come in this room and you can tell us about it, and there will be no repercussions, no punishment. We will talk it through. This is the room. So it's sort of like you guys, what you're saying. But what I like is yours is geared to your relationship.
Mhm.
Ours is geared to our family. So I'm about to steal that because me and James
I
gonna
love
come in this
that.
room.
Go for it.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
we gonna have some honesty sessions.
But you're
Yeah.
teaching us what to do with our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
They get
I
older,
love
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And it works because that helps you be open
Yes.
and honest, because we talk about this all the time. We have a tight communication system in our marriage. Where we communicate, we talk about
Right.
everything. I tell her everything. She tells me, we talk. We don't go. We don't let anything. We feel a certain way about anything. We don't
I
let
pretty much
it
say
go.
whatever's on my mind.
Yeah.
But you know,
I really do.
I was gonna ask Nate because I'm like that. With in my relationship, I don't have a problem telling you how I feel. You know, you're gonna see it on my face,
Yep.
but you definitely gonna hear it from my voice, and I'm gonna let you know
Yeah.
how I feel about things. But my husband is not as vocal, and he is not one of those who is amped to tell you what he's feeling. He presses things mostly, and so, or he doesn't want to have the confrontation. So as a man, what is your advice to men that are in relationships as to how to be vulnerable and to how to express especially your emotions?
I was having this conversation at the barbershop with with the owner of the shop. See, as men, we're not as vocal as you got, and a lot of times we internalize things because we have to figure out how to deal with it. So, and we're not as emotional. Now, ladies, I'm not saying it's a bad thing,
Y'all please
but
don't
we're not as emotional as women. So a lot of times we have to have an outlet. We go to our boys. When we have something in, and sometimes what I've learned is that I can't say certain things to her yet because I don't know what it's going to do to her feelings. So there's certain things that I won't say because I know it's gonna either hurt
Whether
her.
it's about something I'm doing or something in general
Yeah.
that's happening with him that I may react from.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I won't say certain things until I know how to say it to her. And some things are not meant to say to her.
Yeah.
See, so sometimes your husband may hold stuff in, and I say something because it may be something that he knows is not need to be said, or not meant to say to you, or he knows. My best friend told me one time, we got into our first argument in marriage, and I said, man, I said this, and he said, trigger word. So what do you mean? He said that trigger word triggered her response. So a lot of times, but what I would say to men out there is, know what triggers your wife. Know what's gonna set her feelings off, and then know what you can talk to her about and what you can't talk to her about. Certainly we can't talk to you guys about certain things because it's gonna do something, it's gonna change the atmosphere. So that thing I gotta go talk to my boy about and let him give me advice on it, and then I come back. So, and just have
When you come back.
Yeah,
As long
yeah.
as you
Yeah.
come back.
But to be honest, some things that I may be dealing with, I don't need to bring it up because it's something I need to
you're
work
dealing
in.
with yourself.
Yeah, I just need to work in it with me, and I work it, fix it, go on. There's no need. I remember.
And I do trust the people that I know you're going to.
That-
I
Good
trust,
point.
like,
Good
there's some
point.
things that Nate will tell me and I don't understand it. And it's sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I've probably come back and challenge you on it. And you're like, honey, this is me. It's just a man thinking it's something. But I'm like, I don't understand. You just do this, whatever. And like, no, this is something I need to deal with. And he'll go talk to his boys about, okay, fine. Talk to someone. Because obviously I can't help you. I'm trying to be sensitive. But then on the same note, I'm also like, I don't even have a frame of reference for what you're talking
And there's
about right
only a couple of my boys that I talk to.
Yeah.
Because I know they're going to give me sound advice. But I did that because I had to learn that because it's one time I said something to her. I was complaining about something. I think it was work or something. It was something that was bothering me. And she said to me, I never heard my dad complain. That right there.
time, too.
Yeah. That was early in our marriage.
Yeah, that's
But that right there, it bothered me.
Yeah,
It bothered me because
I was like, ooh.
because I was like,
don't do that.
I came to my wife about something, but it was early, and
But it wasn't the first time. It was a series.
Yeah.
So I'm at a point, what in the world are you going to do about it? Now, I've heard my dad in action at work, but I've never heard my dad defeated over work. I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
It was a defeated, and I'm like, at this point, you have to figure something out. That's kind of how it was.
but that's when I learned, and then I got some advice from one of my mentors that everything you don't need to bring to your wife. You know, some things as a man you need to work out on your own because it helps you build as a man.
But I think one of the lessons that I caught in there was to have trusted friends.
Yes.
I've trusted
To
friends.
have people who are accountable and that can give good advice.
And who's not going to feed into your stuff? Who's going?
right.
Who's going to say, "Well, man, this is what you need to do."
Because they probably could have said the same thing to Nate, but me saying it was something different.
Yeah.
They could have said the same thing and he didn't receive it like that.
Received it
Yeah.
totally different.
Oh, they could have just said, look at her over there. You know,
Yeah.
that's why you gotta know who your friends.
You gotta
Right,
know.
right.
And you gotta
know
have
that.
people who are in a position where you aspire to be. You wouldn't go and talk to
That's it.
somebody
That's it.
who is not in a relationship
Right.
or who have been in relationships that have always failed because they're screwing it up. You wouldn't want to talk to that person. You gotta talk to the person
Look,
who is in a lasting
they
relationship.
know somebody.
Right, they do. They do. But that's the
they got a
lesson for our
name-
viewers. I mean,
They got
for
a
our
name
listeners.
on their
That's
mind.
We got a
lesson.
name
That's
on
the
our
lesson.
mind. And they almost, they try to took us out.
They
They
screwed
no.
up.
try to take our marriage out.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
that's
Not
not
a
have.
friend of your man.
No, not at all.
No.
So everybody that I go to, every man I go to for marital advice has been married for 15 or more years. I don't go to anybody who's been married the same amount of time I have or less. I don't really go to them.
And have they been either one marriage?
One marriage.
It's one marriage. You have one that's been a second marriage, but it's been a long time in that second marriage,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Long time in that second marriage, yeah.
And so I don't go to.
But even with that, I wouldn't necessarily place a number on it because you can be in a marriage for 15 years
And
it's
it
not
was
a
trash.
healthy
Yeah, well, let me tell you, they got a good marriage, and they have the fruit.
Yeah.
The fruit of their marriage is
Where
what
you
I
wanna
see.
aspire to be. That's
Yeah.
what you talk to people
Well,
that got what you want to have.
We just
as
also
far as
know people
relationship
who've been
goes.
married 3-4
Right,
times, and it's
right.
like, wait,
Yeah,
maybe not.
something going on. Yeah.
That might be great friends to hang out with, but maybe not where you want to go for counsel.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That makes sense. You gonna jump into your game?
I am.
We have a game?
So I want you guys to grab. So
This
we're
is
gonna-
what this
the
is
fun.
for.
This
Uh-oh.
You better know me.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
I don't know
Listen,
what
with
this
our
is.
first couple, I really thought the women was gonna pull that thing out. I was like, okay, we gonna
Men
rule
won.
this game.
Womp, womp.
Okay, but right now the men are wearing the crown. And
Okay,
so, Kesha,
let's
I'm
see
gonna
what
need you to read.
This is a lot of pressure.
Regain that crown.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna try to hold it.
But before we get into the game, I got one question.
Mm-hmm.
One question. What was different about marriage what was different than what you thought of when you first got into it? Now you've been in 11 years. What has surprised
What
you
surprised
about,
you? Yeah.
about marriage?
How explicit can I say?
I can't with you. I cannot.
Wait. But on this podcast, you can be as explicit as you want to be. Because we talk about everything.
Y'all ain't hearing my voice? Yeah. So,
Did you
y'all
hear
hear my mouth?
the day that we interviewed her and her husband?
God.
We heard about fire sticks.
And
Mm-hmm.
fire stick and dick is what he said. So yeah, that was So
We
yeah.
keep it
Oh
real
my
over here.
gosh.
We keep it real.
Yeah. So what surprised you about marriage?
That we ain't doing it every. No, I'm just playing.
You know, that was surprising for me. I'm not gonna lie, that
Have
was
sex
for me.
every day.
Uh-huh.
Every day.
That's real. That's
Very real.
Have
That's what
children.
surprised me.
Have sex every day. You're tight.
Uh-huh.
Breastfeed
At
this
least-
one. Breastfeed that one.
At least 3-4 times a week, you know.
Every day.
3-4 times a week, you know. At least be.
Big Nate.
At least like on the Young and the Restless, you know. Look, wow.
oh my.
Right.
It's true. It's true. That's
But
good.
yeah, I'm serious.
That's good.
That's what shocked me. It was like, you know, it was like we went.
It was, and I don't know, it wasn't marriage, it was
Like,
kids though. I feel like it was kids. Wow.
It was marriage for me. I think because we both got into, now we got joint bills and now we trying to build something, and so we working. Yeah, but kids even,
that makes it worse.
that woo.
my God.
Because people,
Whoa.
you said it. You said you're breastfeeding, you're working, you're taking care of
That's a
stuff.
lie.
He's sitting there
And
like,
all
oh,
of
I
a
wish
sudden-
I could have some of that.
Right. And then you got to
That look,
breastfeed.
he all bad with the baby. That used to be mine.
Both of them used to be mine.
I'm in the bed. I'm thinking the night gonna be on, and he in the middle, like,
I'm asleep by the time
she,
you get in the room.
I go to the room, and I'm like, when that light go off in that room, I'm like, God.
As soon as I hit the pillow.
Listen.
Oh my God.
That's real.
That's very
That is
real.
very
That is
real.
very real.
And
so
it-
the lesson is get it in before you have kids. That's the lesson, y'all.
Or make it intentional.
Yes.
Right. And
You
find
have
that
to make it
time
intentional.
To make it intentional
Yeah.
because that could very well be his love language.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And so that
Yes.
has to be honored.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Let me be quiet. I got ahead of myself.
So
But it is true, and I just
Absolutely.
want everybody to keep that in mind. That even though as women we do get worn out, we're
I think
trying
that
to
got me
care for
hot.
our.
How hot?
Do we need to leave?
Look. How hot?
About to come a whole
But you have to understand though. One thing I learned is that in that, you can't make sex the focus of the marriage, because we went through a period where she was in some serious pain.
Yeah.
She was having serious pain. Well, we couldn't because she was in pain.
And you honored that.
Was I? What did I get upset at times where
You still want
I never saw that.
But I never showed her
Right.
because that was my flesh.
respectful,
That was me.
yeah.
But I knew what she was going through, so I'm like, I'm not gonna be mad. Other guys probably would have went out.
Oh yeah.
And
Hands down.
I didn't because
You
I
honored
love
that,
her
yeah.
and I honored it, and I knew it was gonna be a time, and I believed God. That's the thing. I prayed for our marriage. I prayed for our intimacy, and I believed that it was gonna be a time where it was happening. Then I got to a point where I can't expect it all the time. Now I'm gonna try. I'm gonna flirt and try, but.
And there's
That's
nothing
so
wrong with that too,
absolutely
because
not.
sometimes
Absolutely.
women take that as that's all you want from me, right? But you're just expressing one, I love you, I desire you,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
be with
Receive
you.
love, yeah.
And that is great.
Yeah.
And being honest about the fact that
Yeah.
this is the way you receive
See
love
love,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you see your wife
Right.
only
Yeah.
as a sex object.
Yeah.
It just means that this is the way you receive love, and it's good to show her
Oh,
that
absolutely.
you love her.
Because
and
if
you
he
wanna play
stopped,
with her.
if he stopped, and I
that's
wanted,
a problem.
because even when I was
Where-
dealing,
what's going
Where
on?
did they go?
Right.
yeah, when I was dealing with chronic pain, he kept doing it, and I would often think like, if he stops, like, what am I going to do?
Right.
But I said, no. He was like, I'm just going to stop. No, please don't stop.
And there were times where I got mad and I didn't. Like, and she could probably tell, because I walk away, I ain't say nothing. I walk away. But she said one day, she said, I appreciate you for not stopping flirting with me.
Yeah.
My mom asked me one time, what's wrong with Nate? He got a little attitude. I said, Mama, he just not getting none right now. Because I'm upset. Like, I'm not feeling like she's there to help me.
Yeah.
And he kind of said, I think it's because he's not getting none right now.
It's okay, Nate.
But that's how real we are, you know.
I think that was
And
the
if
time.
you are experiencing chronic pain, I know your story. But
Yeah.
if you are experiencing chronic pain, I'm gonna say this in the camera. Go get checked out.
get
Y'all,
help.
go figure out what's going on. Figure it out. Work with your doctor.
Yeah.
And if you have
Yeah.
issues like that where one can't perform or one can't, give in to those needs, then come talk to my friend. She's a sex therapist. And so we can tell you some other ways of how you can get that monkey off your back. So
I think you the one that told me to schedule, to make it intentional and schedule. Yeah.
I think y'all did a podcast about it one time. 'Cause I think she maybe listened to it.
Oh, maybe that's what it was, the podcast.
It
on
could
there.
be.
It could have been podcast on that one.
all right. Y'all ready?
I'm still hot.
She fanning herself.
Y'all ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
These are fun. So the questions I'm gonna ask, you are to write down what you think about the other person, not yours. So like if I ask you 3 words that describe your mate, you are to describe him, and you're gonna see how much what he thinks about you or what you think about him and how he views you.
Okay.
So those who have the most points at the end, of course, it's going to be Kesha, because we women need to regain that crown. So, here we go. 3 words that describe your mate. And you can...
music.
Yes. You silly.
We're gonna play some Jeopardy music.
Oh my God. All right, next page. You can.
Okay.
Oh, it's on one page. Oh.
Yeah, just one page. Just one. What is one thing your mate does that makes you feel loved? So this is in respect to yours. You can talk about this is yourself. But what is one thing that Kesha does, Nate, that makes you feel loved? And same thing, Kesha,
What
right?
does he do that make me feel loved?
That makes you feel loved.
That's a lot.
And at the end, we'll see if you matched what you think makes her feel loved, and vice versa. Next, ready?
Mm-hmm.
You have $25,000, but you have to leave tonight. Where is she going, Nate? Where is he going, Kesha?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
She knew that quick.
$25,000. You have to leave
You
tonight.
have to leave tonight. Where is she going? 3 words that describes your mate. Give yourself a point for each one you got right or that they got right. All
I
right.
probably shouldn't have put one, but go ahead.
Okay. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Smart, beautiful, and sarcastic.
Oh my! Oh my!
Am I supposed to say that's correct, though?
Are those
The what he would think of me, right?
right?
Yes, yeah, he told us.
So you a point for each one?
Yeah, he
Yes.
would. Yeah.
So
yeah,
are those 3 correct for you? And so what do you? I should have done this.
I think
different.
he would
So-
say that for me. I may not say that for myself.
Right.
Put that way.
But what
okay,
he thinks
yes.
of you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So what do you think she said? What do you think? How do you think she described you? 3 words. That's what I should have
Oh,
did.
gotcha.
Oh. How would she describe
Because
me?
we want to know how your partner views you. So how do you think she would describe you?
Can it be synonyms of the word if he says it? Or it has to be exact word?
No, it could be a synonym.
Okay.
Mhm.
I put
Funny.
5.
Funny. I'm trying to think of word. Funny. Junkie.
Oh my God.
And handsome.
Okay.
Oh.
I got it wrong. I put outgoing, energetic, which should have been one and the same, and loving.
That would be it.
Okay.
But it's not funny.
But I'm gonna give them to you only because it's those.
Yeah.
I can't even talk. Does those words or do those words define you?
Yep.
So because I didn't do it,
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna give it to you so you get each.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it 1
All
point
right.
or 1 point for each?
1 point for each.
Okay.
One
Okay.
each got correct.
Okay.
All right. What is one thing your mate does that makes you feel loved? Kesha, what do you think he said about what the thing that you do that makes him feel loved?
Takes care of them.
Okay, what is
Him
that?
and the boys.
You gotta be probably more specific. 'Cause that can mean a lot of things.
Okay. I don't know.
You say takes care of them. What takes care
You
of?
say you always say you take good care of us. You say that a lot.
That's not my answer.
Okay, so what is the one thing that she does that makes you feel loved, Nate?
She pushes me to the next level.
Oh,
Beautiful. She motivates you.
She motivates me. She pushes me.
So Kesha, what is the one thing that he wait a minute, no, Nate, what do you Lord.
So I can finish because I thought we were going to say the same thing. How we take care of each other. You, especially with me having chronic sickness, you took over and took care of the boy, not complaining, and he still is doing it to this day. Like, I don't get up with our oldest and get him ready for school. Yeah. He does. He could have still expected me to do that after I started feeling better, but no, he does it. He's like, no, you take Caden, you handle it later. I do. I just feel like we balance each other in that, but I thought we were going to say something.
So what were you gonna say? What did you think she was gonna say about what makes her feel loved?
I thought she would say because I'm constantly telling her that I love her.
Oh,
I'm constantly telling her she's beautiful.
Oh,
you do that.
Yeah. Keep that up. Even in year 20, make sure you keep that up. All right, nobody gets any points.
Nobody.
All right, $25,000. But you have to leave tonight. Where is she going, Nate?
A beach somewhere.
Oh, I should have said it.
But
I should have said it where I'm going. Right? And make sure it was on that page.
Oh, she was. Oh, I'm sorry.
But that is true.
A beach.
A beach.
okay.
Did he need to say a specific name of a beach?
Yeah,
He
because
wanted
there's
to.
a million beaches.
Yeah.
So
Wait
a minute. So what beach would she go to, Nate?
With $25,000, it's gonna be somewhere where the water is clear and white sand.
So give me a location. Where would she go?
Write
You
it down.
think about it.
Write it down, and then let me say it and see if we have the same thing.
Right, write it down.
Right.
Okay, all right. There's so many beaches. That's not a fair question. Because there's so many beaches.
What is her dream vacation destination or beach?
Well, dream destination. I don't think they have a beach there.
Okay.
But
It's one of them. It's not. We're not. I know where you're going.
So what do you think, Nate?
I'm gonna say Jamaica.
No, it's
What?
Johannesburg, South Africa.
They got beaches there?
It's beaches in South Africa.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Switch. So
What did I say about you? What's on this paper?
where are you going?
Where
with
you going?
$25,000, Nate. Where are you going? You gotta.
I think everybody know that.
San Francisco. It's a 49ers game.
Yes.
San Francisco. Okay, give yourself a point. What?
Way to go, Kesha.
Yes.
Okay.
He going to see. He left me with the flu to go
Oh.
to the San Francisco. He going to see. No, you went to Philly. Was it Philly?
It was DC.
It was DC.
But it was the 49ers playing the Redskins. Huh? No,
So we had just got married. So
what happened in my defense?
He's learning.
No, in my defense. No.
He's going to say that I told him to go.
She told me in my defense. I said, "Hey, babe, I will stay here with you."
He said, "You sure?" As he was walking out.
Right.
He said,
No.
"You sure?"
With his bag.
Bye.
But I had somebody set up to bring her food. Had somebody set up to take care of her, and I said I will stay. She said, "No, I want you to go and enjoy yourself." I was newly married.
She can change her mind.
Look. I dropped my phone. My phone screen cracked while I was on the way. I was just like,
Everything went wrong.
I'm calling her. She got an attitude on the phone. Her mom called me and chewed me out.
I was asleep. I slept the whole
Couldn't
time.
even enjoy your
So fellas, if they say yes, it means
Yes
no.
means no.
Right, that's exactly
And no also means no.
Right. Exactly.
right.
Oh my God.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
What is his favorite way to de-stress?
You got to answer.
Oh, I got to answer. What's my favorite way to distress?
Oh, he got an answer.
I cannot.
What's your favorite way?
Oh my gosh, now he's about to be weird about it. Oh, come on, Nate.
You need some Hennessy? What
Sex.
What's your favorite? Sex? Okay.
I said take a nap.
Oh. No.
Take
but
Because he don't get a lot of sleep. I said take a nap.
but I don't take naps. They don't.
So that ain't.
I won't take a nap.
You are energized after you take a nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what he's saying is give him some.
Give him
He'll
some.
be feeling so much better. Well, whatever that situation is.
Right before work. Great day.
No. Let's talk about that. He gets the oldest in school. I get the youngest in school with some time in between. I get back home about to start work. He ready.
She work from home.
Right before work.
He ready.
Free moment. It's like every moment we got.
But kids gone.
I don't have to share.
But-
I got all to myself.
I get both breasts today.
Right.
Or get adventurous. The kids out there playing, they busy, you know.
We looking out the window. Wait, hurry up, they coming.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's funny. Okay,
A glass
Keisha.
of wine.
what did you put?
Wine.
Oh, he gets the point. Oh my goodness. Listen here. Where are we on these points? Because I'm going to need you to pull this thing out.
I know.
Keisha.
1, 2, 3. I think we're tied. 4.
I got 4, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. So here it is.
Tiebreaker.
Okay.
Oh, it is.
Yes. What is your love language? Nate.
Oh. So
We've had this conversation before. I
It's,
just don't understand why.
So for me,
Your top love language. Number 1.
my top love language,
Yep.
gifts.
Gifts. Where'd you put Keisha?
Physical
Physical
touch.
touch.
We've been
Yo,
talking about
hold
this the
on.
whole time.
I forgot that was one of them.
This is him.
She called him out.
So I was like, I knew he was gonna say
He
physical.
tired of
When he
sharing
was
with
like,
you.
That is
up
one of
here,
them. That is
I was
one of them, but
like,
it's not the
What
top.
is he talking about? I ain't married to you. I know you love me.
And gift is not next. It's words of affirmation.
I got it right. That would be the top. I forgot what was there, but that would be
You
the
don't get
top.
points.
You know
You said it
what?
wrong.
You know what? Just give him gifts. He said sex.
Oh no, that's a gift. That's a gift.
I ain't gonna deny me.
Right.
Give him them gifts.
We both like gifts.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a gift that keeps
So,
on giving.
What is your love language, Keisha?
Quality time.
What did you put, Nate?
I put acts of service.
Okay, so we're tied. So I need a tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker question.
Okay, cool. If, write this down, she could change one thing about herself, what would it be? Nate? No, write it down. Cause
Is it
then-
physical or is it just
It doesn't
anything?
matter. It could be anything. Same for you. If he could change one thing about himself, what would it be? Because we need a tiebreaker. So write your answer down, and then we'll tell.
Oh.
Write it down, Nate.
Oh.
He tried to pull it out the thin air.
No, because it's a question that
Consulted with God. You took it up there. You consulted with God.
Okay, yeah, because we gotta. It's a lot of things.
Because it's a question that men gotta be careful when they answer stuff about women changing things
No,
about
it's more
themselves.
about
She
herself.
wants to
Oh,
What
okay.
she wants, not what you want to
Now,
do.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
would have been a long
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all be fighting on the way home.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Nah, we wouldn't do that to you. So what do you think? The
Uh,
one thing, if she could pick one thing to change about herself, it could be physical, it could be doesn't have to be physical, it could be anything, and vice versa. So she would write down what the one thing you would change about yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Kesha, what is the one thing you would change about yourself?
In this season, probably my weight. Trying to get rid of this baby weight.
What did you say, Nate?
I say be more outgoing.
Okay.
Oh, we just talked about that last night. I wanted a hobby. I was looking for another hobby. Okay, yep.
So can I get that point?
No.
So we just talk about it.
No, because that's not what I said.
Okay. What is the one thing you would change about yourself? Nate.
Oh,
He ponders so much.
because it would be my.
He said it in the course of the discussion, but that's a hint for you.
I did. Oh.
What is the one thing
Kinda.
you would change? Inquiring mind.
I'm trying to.
He's perfect. He Nate. He Nate.
I think it will be where I am as far as career. You know.
So you would want to be at a more elevated career level.
You know, an entrepreneur.
He wants
That's
to
what
be
I want.
out.
I'm
Okay.
an entrepreneur.
He
So.
wanted
So what'd you say?
his profession.
Stop.
You said his
Why the man
profession?
won again?
No, she
I got
the
it
point.
right.
She got the point, so she win.
I got it.
She gets this answer. She
Yo,
gets
this is a
answer.
setup.
No, you were tied. You didn't guess hers, but she guessed yours, so she
Way
gets
to
the
go,
point.
Kesha.
We
Oh,
got the crown.
Aw.
So it's 1-1. It's so sweet.
Isn't that sweet?
So sweet. I
know
love
you.
Nate.
I
He
know
big
you.
Nate.
Look at her break this hair like 80.
This
Yeah.
is what 11 years gets you, y'all.
I know.
Yes.
11 years of working at it, working out the kinks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting to
And
that.
we still working.
Yeah.
We just had a key word.
Still working.
Yeah,
Work.
Working.
Working.
Yeah,
Yep.
you gotta
It's a
put
work
in
in
the work
progress.
and you gotta keep on working.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's what relationships are.
Go ahead and rewind this episode.
Absolutely.
Get you a pencil and a piece of paper. Take down some notes.
Some
the
nuggets up in
Hallways
here,
gave
y'all.
us some good words
Yes,
today,
good nuggets.
y'all.
Good nuggets.
It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Holloway.
Team Holloway.
Team Holloway.
We love it.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes,
guys.
Yes.
Thank
We-
you
Thank
for
you for
being
being
here.
here.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So y'all stay tuned because we will have another couple with you all, for you all,
Yes.
in this Love Over the Decades.
Always remember.
Let's talk about it.